My father ordered me to pay off my sister's debt, so I vanished without a trace. Those were his exact words, calm, cold, and final, as if my life's worth meant less than my sister's mistakes. I remember standing there numb, watching him slide a folder across the table. Inside was a credit statement, $42,000, all charged under her name. But somehow, I was the one expected to fix it. Before I tell you what happened next, make sure you subscribe, like, and share, because what I did after that night shocked everyone in my family. I tried to laugh it off at first. "Dad, you're joking, right?" I said, but his eyes didn't even flinch. "Daisy, you're the responsible one. Your sister is going through a tough time. You'll handle this." He said it like I was his employee, not his daughter. My mom sat silently, eyes low, pretending to be heartbroken, but I could tell she agreed with him. And my sister Chloe, she just smirked, sipping her coffee like a spoiled queen who knew she'd won again. Every time she messed up, they bailed her out. Every time I achieved something, they ignored it. I'd been working 2 jobs, saving every penny to start my small design studio. And now, they expected me to give it all up, just to protect her from the consequences she earned. When I said no, Dad's voice turned sharp. "You're being selfish. Family helps family." He slammed his hand on the table, and Chloe gasped like she was the victim. Mom whispered, "Don't embarrass us, Daisy. Do the right thing." But for once in my life, I chose silence instead of obedience. That night, I went back to my apartment, sat on my bed, and stared at my savings account on the screen. Years of struggle, gone if I gave in. I turned off my phone, packed my bag, and deleted every social account. No goodbye notes. No explanations. By sunrise, I was already on a bus heading 3 states away, where no one knew my name, my family, or the story of how I abandoned them. They thought I ran away in shame. They had no idea what I was building in the shadows. For months, I lived like a ghost. No calls, no texts, no social media. I worked odd jobs during the day and studied business marketing online at night. Every dollar I earned went into a secret plan that no one, not even my closest friend, Mia, fully understood. I remember the first time I saw the "For Rent" sign on an old cafe downtown. The place was falling apart, but something about it called to me. I spent nights cleaning floors, painting walls, and sketching designs between shifts at the diner. Slowly, my dream came to life. Daisy's Grounds, a cozy cafe where people came not just for coffee, but for comfort. Before I tell you what happened when my family found out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because what started as my escape turned into their biggest shock ever. At first, business was slow. But one morning, a local influencer stopped by, posted a video about my cafe, and within days, lines wrapped around the block. I couldn't believe it. I went from scrubbing dishes to managing a full team. Every review, every smile, every dollar, it all proved that I was more than what my family made me believe. Then one night, I got a call from an unknown number. I hesitated, but something in my chest told me to answer. "Daisy?" The voice trembled. It was Mom. "Sweetheart, your father's been looking everywhere. Chloe's in trouble again. She needs help." I stayed silent. The background noise sounded like chaos. Shouting, crying. "She took another loan. She said she thought you would help again," Mom whispered. I almost laughed. After everything, they still saw me as their backup plan. "Mom," I finally said, my voice calm but cold. "I'm not the same Daisy you knew." There was a pause, then a faint gasp. "What do you mean?" I took a deep breath, glancing around my bustling cafe filled with happy customers. "Let's just say, this time she'll have to pay her own debt." But deep inside, I knew something bigger was coming, because my family didn't take no easily. A week later, I saw their faces again, not in person, but on my cafe's security cameras. They had found me. It was a Sunday morning rush. The cafe was full, laughter echoing, coffee machines hissing, when the door suddenly opened, and there they were. My father, mother, and Chloe standing at the entrance like ghosts from a nightmare. My heart dropped, but I forced a calm smile. "Table for 3?" I asked, pretending not to know them. Before I go on, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because what happened in the next 5 minutes changed everything. Dad's jaw clenched. "So this is where you've been hiding," he said loudly, drawing stares from customers. "Playing businesswoman while your family suffers?" I tried to stay composed, but my hands trembled slightly. Mom looked around nervously, whispering, "Please, Daisy, we didn't come to fight." But Chloe, she had that same smirk, just like the day I left. "Nice place," she said. "You must have done well. Maybe you can finally help me out again?" The nerve. My employees froze, unsure whether to step in. I motioned them away. "You shouldn't have come here," I said quietly. But my father raised his voice, making sure everyone heard. "You're ungrateful. After all we did for you, this is how you treat your own blood?" His words were sharp, rehearsed, a perfect performance of a victimized father. Customers were whispering, recording on their phones. And then Chloe started crying. "I'm being harassed by loan collectors, Daisy. They said they'll come after Mom and Dad if I don't pay." "Please, you can afford it. Just this once." I looked at her tear-streaked face, remembering how many times I'd been guilt-tripped before. But this time was different. This time, I wasn't powerless. "Actually," I said, pulling something from my bag, a document sealed with a bank stamp. "You're standing in my cafe owned by me. Every chair, every light, every bean here is paid for with money you all said I'd never make." Dad's expression faltered, confusion flickering for a second. "What are you talking about?" "I didn't just survive," I said, voice steady. "I built something, while you mocked me, while you drained me, while you made me feel like nothing." The cafe went silent. Even Chloe's fake sobs stopped, but just as I thought I'd won, my father's next words sliced through the air like ice. "If that's true," he said coldly, "then you owe us. We raised you, we made you, and if you don't pay your sister's debt now, we'll make sure everyone knows the real Daisy." The crowd gasped. I froze. The real Daisy? What was he talking about? Then Chloe smiled, not with innocence, but victory. "Guess it's time she found out what we kept from her all these years." My heart pounded so hard I could barely hear the chatter around us. "What are you talking about?" I asked, but Chloe just tilted her head, eyes gleaming with something dark. Dad folded his arms. "You really think you're better than us now, don't you, Daisy? Maybe it's time you learn the truth about who you really are. Before I tell you what came next, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Because the truth that came out next left everyone speechless." Mom's voice trembled as she tried to stop him. "James, please, not here." But he ignored her. "You were never supposed to know this," he said, leaning closer, lowering his voice just enough for the cafe to grow quiet, trying to hear. "You're not even our biological daughter. We took you in when you were 3, because your real father owed me money." The world froze. Every sound vanished. For a moment, I thought I'd misheard him. "You're lying," I whispered. But Chloe's smirk told me it wasn't a lie. "Dad, stop," Mom said, tears forming. "It wasn't like that," he cut her off. "Oh, it was exactly like that. I cleared your father's debt and raised you as my own. And now you think you can turn your back on us? You owe us everything, Daisy." People in the cafe were stunned. Some were recording, others whispering in disbelief. My throat tightened, but something inside me, something stronger than fear, started burning. "So let me get this straight," I said, my voice shaking but loud enough for everyone to hear. "You didn't help me out of kindness. You did it because you thought you owned me," he smirked. "That's right. And now you'll pay your sister's debt, or I'll tell the world who you really are, a nobody pretending to be successful." But what he didn't know was that I already knew. I looked him dead in the eye and said quietly, "You're late, Dad. I found out months ago." His face went pale. "What?" "I found the old adoption papers when I was cleaning out Mom's attic. That's why I left. That's why I disappeared. Because I realized the only thing you ever gave me was pain. The cafe was silent again. Mom's sobs broke the tension. Chloe looked stunned and Dad just stared at me, his power gone. Then I smiled and said, "But don't worry, Dad. I've already met my real father." The color drained from his face completely. "You what?" he stammered. I leaned in, whispering, "And he's not just alive. He's standing behind you." Every head in the cafe turned toward the door. The cafe door creaked open, and a tall man in a gray suit stepped in. His calm, confident stride made the whole room hold its breath. My father's face went white the moment he saw him. "No, it can't be," he muttered. "Before I finish this story, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this ending will leave you speechless." The man looked straight at me and smiled softly. "Hey, kiddo," he said, his voice steady but emotional. "I told you I'd come when you were ready." Customers were frozen in place, phones half raised, watching as everything unfolded like a movie. My fake father, the man who had controlled my life for years, took a step back. "You should have stayed gone, Mark," he hissed. "You lost everything. You were supposed to be dead?" My real father cut in. "That's what you told her, right?" He turned to me. "He lied to both of us, Daisy. I never abandoned you. He bought you from me when I was drowning in debt, promised to take care of you, then made sure I could never find you again." The air felt heavy. My mom broke down in tears. Chloe looked like she'd seen a ghost. And the man I once called Dad just stood there, exposed, trembling, his entire act collapsing in front of dozens of witnesses. I stepped closer, my voice calm. "All those years you made me believe I owed you. But the truth is, you've been living off my silence." I turned toward the crowd, my voice growing stronger. "This man stole a child's life for money. And now he wants more." Gasps filled the cafe. Someone whispered, "Is this real?" Cameras flashed. And then, for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. My real father handed me a folder. "Here," he said. "Everything. The contracts, the proof, the signed agreements. You own this cafe free and clear, Daisy. And as of this morning, the legal case is filed." Chloe burst out crying. "Please, Daisy, don't do this. We'll lose everything." I looked at her with a sad smile. "You already did. The moment you chose to ruin me, you ruined yourself." My fake father tried one last time. "You'll regret this," he shouted. I looked straight at him and said, "No, I'll remember this as the day I got my life back." Security escorted them out as customers clapped. Some even hugged me, saying I inspired them. My knees went weak, but my heart finally felt light. Weeks later, my cafe went viral after someone uploaded the footage online. News outlets called it the day Daisy reclaimed her life. Business tripled overnight. But more than that, I found peace, and one evening, as the sun set behind the cafe windows, my real father and I sat together, laughing over coffee. He looked at me and said, "You didn't just survive. Daisy, you built a new world," I smiled back. "And this time no one's taking it from me."